Today, we all know Rashaad Penny as the starting running back for the Seattle Seahawks, whose career has been riddled with injuries. But where did he come from? How did he get his start in football? What obstacles did he overcome to make it to the highest level? What's up, everybody? I'm Tom, and today I'm starting a new series on my channel where I dive deep into the player profiles of NFL players. Drop your player suggestions in the comments, and let's get right into it. Rashaad Penny was born on February 2nd, 1996 in Norwalk, California. His family was very close as Rashaad's grandfather lived with him most of his life because of a divorce early in Rashaad's life. When Rashaad and his two older brothers Elijah and Robert Jr. were kids, they played baseball, so naturally Rashaad, who looked up to his brothers, also played baseball. But once the boys reached high school, they decided to switch to football, which Rashaad excelled at. Rashaad would play 3 varsity seasons at Norwalk High School, racking up 5,124 yards and 103 touchdowns in total. Despite these stats, he only received a scout grade of 73 and a rating of 3 stars, putting him as the 144th ranked running back in the class of 2014. He received offers from the likes of San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State, Colorado State, and San Jose State. He ultimately decided to stay relatively close to home and committed to San Diego State University. Penny didn't see much action at SDSU until his junior year, where he rushed for 1,018 yards and 11 touchdowns on an absurd 7.5 yards per carry. He followed that junior year campaign with an even better senior year with 2,248 yards and 23 touchdowns on an even better 7.8 yards per carry. His 2,248 yards led all of college football that year. After his college career was all said and done, he rushed for a total of 3,656 yards and 38 touchdowns on a career yards per carry of 7.5. In his career, he also tied the FBS record for kickoff return touchdowns with 7. Before that game, he tied the record. Tragedy struck. Rashaad's grandfather died unexpectedly in his sleep from a heart attack. He was 74. This affected Rashaad and his family very deeply because they were such a close-knit crew. Rashaad was under no pressure to play in this game. SDSU was 8-2, playing a 2-8 Nevada squad. Originally, Rashaad was not going to play in this game, but he was convinced by his older brother Elijah. And what transpired was the greatest game Rashaad has ever played.
Be like 2 or 3 of the fire emojis, right?
That's right.
Here's Penny.
On fire too.
He's taken 6 back in his career. He needs 1 more to tie the NCAA record, and Rashaad Penny on cue, no flags, touchdown. 100 yards. This young man can do it all. He's taken a punt back, a kick back, and he's rushed for a touchdown tonight.
Penny rushed for 222 yards and had 4 total touchdowns, 2 of those coming on special teams. One was a 100-yard kickoff return to tie the FBS record, and another was a punt return touchdown of 70 yards. Each time he scored, he made a tribute to his late grandfather by lifting his head and pointing to the sky. My grandpa had an impact. Every run I had that game, I felt light. Every touchdown I had, I felt light. I felt like I could score at any time on the field, Penny stated after the game. Penny finished off his stellar senior season with a top 5 finish in Heisman voting. A 3-star recruit out of high school, defied the odds and became a first-round draft pick in the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks drafted Penny with the 27th overall selection in the 2018 draft. He then signed a 4-year deal worth $10.7 million. He saw playing time sparingly in his rookie year, finishing with 85 carries for 419 yards and 2 touchdowns. His breakout game coming in Week 10 versus the Rams when he had 12 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. The next season, he also played sparingly, rushing 65 times for 370 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he was injured in Week 14 of that season when he tore his ACL just as he was starting to pick up speed. This saw Penny basically sit out the entire 2020 season as he was recovering from injury. Now, after 3 seasons of mediocre football from Penny, a lot of people started to write him off. Chris Carson was the main back for the team, and Penny was the third option behind Alex Collins. Then midway through the 2021 season, Carson went down with a career-ending injury, and Collins was not performing well. And that's when Penny finally got his chance, and he did not disappoint. In the last 5 weeks of the 2021 season, Penny went on an absolute tear, rushing 92 times for 671 yards and 6 touchdowns, with an average yards per carry of 7.3, putting him among the best in the league for that final stretch. This tear included back-to-back games where Penny rushed for 170 yards, and then in the season finale, he exploded for a career-high 190 yards. This late-season performance solidified Penny as the starter for the Seahawks for the 2022-2023 season. And after a good start to this season, in which he rushed for 346 yards and 2 touchdowns in 4 games, Penny once again got injured, and it caused his season to end prematurely. But it wasn't all bad for Penny this year, as his high school jersey was retired. Norwalk High School honored Rashaad and his brother Elijah, who is also in the NFL, by retiring their number 22. Rashaad went from a fourth-year back struggling to get playing time to now being a full-time starter in the NFL within a few short months. It just goes to show how much it means to take advantage of every opportunity that you are given in the league, because you don't get many of them. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day.